Hey guys, this is Coach Derek, co-host of the Soapboxing Podcast. Man, ever since I found this Anchor app, I tell you, podcasting has become a lot simpler and a lot easier to do. They distribute the podcast over several platforms, and you have to do no work. I tell you, man, if you're interested in doing podcasting, you need to download the Anchor app. That's ANCHOR.FM. You can get started today with the Anchor app and do whatever your heart desires.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Soapboxing Podcast.
Who did you turn professional with?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I can't say good morning America, right? Because it's like copyrighted.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, man.
Good morning, America. No.
It
We
don't
have a
count
very
today.
special guest. It's 7 a.m. where he is. We thank you for coming on this early. Can you let the people know who you are? Because they might confuse you with someone else.
Yeah, no, how's it going? My name is Richard Torrez Jr. I'm signed with Top Rank. I went to Olympics. I'm Olympics silver medalist. And yeah.
So, okay. So you are, I'm like, dang, that's clear cut. So you're a professional boxer and you have like a decorated amateur career. Tell us about like some of your experience.
Yeah, so the first time I ever started boxing, got in the ring, I was 4 years old. The first time I ever competed, I was 8. First time I ever won a national competition, I was 10 years old. The first time I ever fought overseas in another country, I was 15. I fought in Russia, and I haven't lost in the United States in the past 9 years as an amateur. I was captain of the USA boxing team. I was one of the Olympic captains. And then moving forward, just signed with Top Rank, and I just had my 4th fight.
Oh, cool. So I've actually seen your pro fights, and I was like, dang. So do people tell you that you can box like for your size, or like do people tell you like weird things?
I mean, yeah, people are always like, why don't you go down to cruiserweight? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You know, everyone's kind of like a sideline coach. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm really thankful to have my dad who's been there with me since day one. And so he's that kind of rock that I go to look for my information for. And I just follow his advice. And now moving forward, I'm able to have Top Rank as a team too and follow their advice a little bit as well. But yeah, I think people have said I can box before. And a lot of people, they like my style because I'm aggressive. You know, I like getting in there. I like making it. I like getting them tired, and I just kind of like. I like that aspect of boxing.
Do you?
When,
oh, go ahead.
No, I'm about to say when my kid made the team, man, and that's how I know of Richard, and I've seen him. I seen him when he was working with Jared Anderson over there at Prince, and I seen when Q and him was flying somewhere, man. My son was playing in a state championship, and Rich jumped on there and gave him a shout out, man. You remember that? That's yeah. I said, man, I like this guy. Yeah. But I seen you over there, and you fought when you was in the Olympics. How big was you fighting, man?
When I was in the Olympics, I was 225, and so I was still super heavyweight. And I mean, the average heavyweight and the elite level of the amateurs is 265, about 6'5". So I'm the smaller guy.
How tall are you, bro?
I'm 6'2".
Yeah, I remember seeing you over there at Prince, man, and it looked like you done gained. What you doing, bro? You gained some. How much you weigh now in your last fight?
I'm about 230. Well, I weighed in at 229. I still try to fight around 225, but the big difference that I had finally is I started caring about my diet. Like I went to the Olympic Training Center and I asked the nutritionist if she could put together a plan for me. She did. I've been following it to a T, and it's really shown a difference in just like kind of cutting up my body, and I really like it.
I'm a little different than everybody, bro. You give me a 6'2" guy, I could compete at this. You know, I can compete with them big boys, man. Joe Louis was 6'2". That's all you got to be.
100%.
But right. But I didn't mean to cut you off, Jeff. Go ahead.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. And my kids were bad. Like, I swear on Jesus, I said, stay in the room. That's what I said. I think I was gonna ask something about like what you weigh, what you walk around at. Who do you think you're? Do you think you fight like anyone? Do you try to mimic anybody's style?
I think I try to mimic a lot of my teammates' styles. You know, I look at my fellow Olympians, look at my fellow Team USA guys that are all doing the thing in top right now, and I like a lot of their style. You know, I like Duke Rakin's jab. I like Keyshawn's just like ring generalship. I like Tiger's speed. I like a bunch of different things about like every other boxer, and I try to incorporate that in my style. So I would say I'm not like any fighter because I'm kind of like every fighter. You know.
Like a hybrid. Took a little bit from everybody. Who fought in your family, bro? Your dad fought?
My dad fought. My grandpa also fought. So yeah, I'm a third generation boxer.
Anytime I hear a guy 4 years old, 5 years, yeah, it's a reason why he's in the gym, man.
Oh, 100%.
Your dad and them, they all fought in They from California?
Yeah, everyone fought from Cali. My grandpa was one of the guys that kind of started this Central California Boxing Association. So like we have some pretty deep roots in the amateur boxing. And then my dad, he went to the Olympic trials. He was ranked 4th and 5th in the world in 2 different weight classes as an amateur. But he, instead of turning pro, he went to college and became a teacher and administrator. And that's where I met my mom. So I'm not too mad at him for that.
Right. But you're a legacy, bro. It's your job to keep on going, bro. Get it the way you need it to be.
Gotta do it.
How are you trained? Do you ever go down there I know you was coming to Houston for a little while, but do you ever make it down there to Vegas and all that at the Top Rank Gym?
I mean, I go there and I visit, but like most of my camps have actually been at the Olympic Training Center again. So I'll fly out there because sometimes they just lined up perfectly, and I'll get some work with some of those amateur guys. And but I think moving forward too, like I will still go to the training center, but we're gonna try to make it to Vegas too to get some of that pro work. It's a little different styles, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Is your pops is your head trainer?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice, man. You've been knocking dudes out, bro. Which is what they want, man. In your weight class, man.
Yeah, they like to see. It's kind of quick though. Everybody's been in the first round.
Yeah, except this last guy was in the third. So
that last one, not this one, man. Forgive me for forgetting the names, but man, that one kid, bro. That was he Mexican? Ooh, that was a vicious knockout, man. Ooh, that was rough.
Yeah.
I hate to see that, whether I'm rooting for the guy who's doing the knockout or not. You know, I hate to see that type of stuff. But get him on out of there. You know, a lot of people don't know if you shut their lights out, it's better than beating on them for 4-5 rounds. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it was scary, bro. It was scary. That was scary.
How does that make you feel when you hurt someone?
You know, I always thought I was gonna be the guy that when I hit someone, I'd like try to catch them and save them and not let them fall. You know, I thought I was gonna be the guy that was like the hero of the story. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna save him. And I even gave Shushu a little slack. There was one time Shushu hit a guy and he hit him like 2 or 3 times after the guy was kind of out. I was like, man, Shushu, why would you even do that? And then it was my turn for that, you know. And I get in there and I just saw red, you know. And it took me a while to understand that, like, no, I'm that guy that's gonna be vicious in the ring. You know, I'm that guy. I didn't even know I was that guy. And as soon as I figured that out, like, it took me about a day, and then I said, I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay with being the guy that you should be afraid of in the ring, and you should better hope that the ref does his job because I'm not gonna stop hitting you. You know, I'm okay with being that person in the ring, and I think it's a growing lesson for me to understand that about myself. Huge difference
in every facet, but definitely definitely in that manner between amateur boxing and professional boxing, man. Of course, all the sharks who's invested in you want you to do that too. But it's hey, man, you gotta. That's why I hate anybody getting there farting around. You got hey, this is serious business, man, and get him out of there and come home, cause anything could happen. It's a fist fight, bro. You know that anything could happen, man.
100%.
Man, you in a hell of a heavyweight era right now, man. I mean, we in prospect land, right? Mm-hmm. But at the top of the division, man, I like to say about 3 years ago we're in a heavyweight renaissance, man. I hadn't seen this many named, good heavyweights since the 90s, bro. And in my opinion, the 90s. Listen, I know the 70s is supposed to be the golden era and all that. I get it. I definitely get it. But that 90s, bro, your top 20 was bad, bro. They could win. You know what I'm saying? And I would say today, man, you got the top 10 heavyweights are bad, bro. They are bad, man. So, and then you got your prospects. You got Jared. You got all these guys coming up. What you think about today's division, man? Does it excite you? Is that why we fighting heavyweight? Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a hell of a division right now. You want a piece of that pie or what? What are we doing?
Oh, 100%. And my dad always says it's like a pendulum swing. So sometimes it ebbs and flows of like when the guys come back. And so who raised me was the guy that watched the heavyweights. My dad was the guy that came up watching the heavyweights. So I feel like that's kind of one of the reasons I want to be a heavyweight as well. My dad always said the story that no one wants to be a cruiserweight champion in the world. Everyone wants to be a heavyweight champion in the world.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, I definitely want to have a piece of that pie. I want to go out there and I want to show that I'm supposed to be here, And I almost feel like dropping down a weight or something and trying to go a different weight class is like a cop out. Like I'm a heavyweight. I won an Olympic medal at the super heavyweight division. It's like I want to show you that I'm here to stay.
Right. And again, bro, 6'2" is a big enough man, bro. It may be, and I'm sure you hear it all the time, bro. I ain't here to bring that shit up. That undersized heavyweight shit. But guess what? At 6'2", man, if you're a true walk around heavyweight, man, you can get him. It's just it depends on you and your preparation and the plan for whoever you're fighting. Joe Louis knocked out guys 6'6", 6'7" all the time, bro. And that's why it makes me, when they say, "Oh man, these super athletes today," and you don't know the history. You don't know the history of the sport, bro. Because giants been around, bro. They been around. Primo Carnero was in the 30s, bro. 6'6". They been around, man. The key is fight ability. That's what needs to happen. Evander showed everybody that. And like you said, nobody wanted to be the cruiserweight champ. He got all the straps. Wasn't about 12 fights. He was the king of the mountain, and he said, "This mountain ain't shit. I need to go to the real mountain," And that's just what he did. But I understand that drive to want to compete and push yourself against the best, man. But again, man, it's so great right now, heavyweight boxing, man. I've been enjoying myself about 5 years now, man, because. Them Klitschko's, man, it was Snoozeville, bro. They couldn't keep, and it ain't no knock on them. Of course, they were great fighters, but man, when a heavyweight champion of the world don't even have a TV deal, it's a problem. It's a real problem, man. You remember when he lost that HBO didn't even care about showing the heavyweight title. They didn't even care, man, because and I think it was because the division was weak, right? In America, we wasn't gonna pay a European to pay to watch a European fight a bunch of Europeans, and we don't got nobody. Now it done swapped up. Now we got some real stuff, and everybody's competitive, man. Everybody.
I think one of the things was too is that Klitschko made it uncompetitive. Didn't he have it on lock for like 10 years or something like that? Like 10 years. He
had a couple little side tracks, and got him back, and man.
The Klitschko brothers made and then lost the heavyweight division together because they were unstoppable, but because they're unstoppable, it lost appeal, But now since everything's competitive, I think that's why it came back up so much.
Right, 100%, man. And listen, for the king of the division to be an Englishman and people in America we'll pay to see him. We'll go watch him and all that stuff, man. It's a great time in boxing, man. And
100%.
with you and Jared giving us somebody to root for, so we in the mix now. We got somebody coming right up behind these boys, man. So we got to get back, man. I'm not ashamed of saying we supposed to be controlling boxing. So when we ain't, I don't like it, man. We need somebody to get up there and win, bro.
Yep. No, I'm excited to do
It's
so
always
too.
the country versus country. Do you feel like you're a draw to the sport?
I think so. Yeah, I think I bring a different aspect of boxing to the heavyweight division. You know, a lot of these guys bring raw power and they want to show those one-hitter quitters, and they look great. But I think a lot of people kind of like that combination too. They like seeing someone be active. They like seeing someone that can go the distance and not get tired. And I think I kind of bring that. And I think that along that I bring a more pop than a thudding power. And it's exciting to see.
It definitely is. I was looking at some of your videos, and you got some footwork.
No, thank you. Yeah, one of the guys I really liked watching growing up was actually Lomachenko. So being on the same card is incredible. But I like watching a lot of lefty fighters like Lomachenko and Pacquiao, and just seeing how they kind of move. And I like watching the little guys. To see what they do, and I try to mimic that a little bit because I think the smaller weight classes, the better the technique is. You know, the bigger guys, we got that power. That's all we need sometimes. And if you go back and you look at some of the little guys' footwork, it's really amazing to watch.
Yeah, I'm a little person, so I watch the little people too. No. What were you saying?
It's watching you and watching again Jared. I think to myself, y'all so young in your careers, right? And you guys came first of all, man, kudos for your Olympic your Olympic performances and really the team. You know, for the first time, I mean, we got back to some kind of, you know, where we supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we got 3 silvers and a bronze?
Yeah.
And a bronze. It's been so long since we had somebody or a team, put it like this, a team going and medal and stuff, man. So I was very, very proud of y'all performance, man. And but let me put my coach's hat on. I think, man, while you guys, and I'm speaking specifically you and Jared Anderson, I'm like, man, when these guys, let me think how to say this right. When y'all mature physically and are able to slow the fights down along with y'all speed, right? Because right now I think y'all top speed is too much for the guys y'all fighting, right? It's really rough for them fellas. But I think as we climb, and we're talking about a couple of years from now, as y'all climb, I think, and start settling in, because there's going to be a lot of more thinking when you start fighting them big, you know, them ranked guys, man. I can't wait to see you, Jared, when y'all start implementing these strategies, man, and fighting like fighting like heavyweights, man. I think it's going to be tremendous, man. It's going to be tremendous, bro, because it ain't going to be too much longer where the big gypsies going to have to go off into the sunset, and Chisora, all them guys they'll be done by the time y'all get there too. I'm guessing, I don't know, but so I think it's gonna be wide open for y'all, man, and I think we're gonna get some American pride back to the heavyweight division, man. That's what we need. No shot, no. I'm not slandering Wilder, man. I'm glad he was a heavyweight champion and all that stuff, but we need some technical boxing, man. That I could watch and be like, hey, man, I'm liking this shit. You know what I'm saying? But
100%.
When you look at the landscape of the heavyweights, bro, what you thinking, man? I think from a fan's perspective, more so than how would you plot out your move, but like as a fan of the heavyweight division, what you thinking, man?
As a fan, I love it. You know, I see if I'm being honest with you, I see a ton of heavyweights with a ton of power. I see a lot of power in the heavyweight division. I think that you're right about there's a lack of skill levels sometimes, but the skill level is a lot of European fighters. You know, I think a lot of the American fighters come with that raw strength, and it just looks incredible to see. And then you see the European fighters that have the little footwork or the Olympic medal background, stuff like that. And to see them collide is amazing. You know, you always want to see what's going to win, boxing or the power. You know, and you can see that a little bit in the fights. And it's incredible to watch. But I think also, though, that the up-and-comers are kind of making the scene already, too. You know, I love watching Jared fight. I love because you can kind of just see him bully some of these people around. And it's like the dude's like 10 years younger than some of these guys, just out there just mushing them and bullying them and then knocking them out like the third round. It's awesome to see, you know? And so I'm a major fan of all my teammates. And Jared was one of my teammates, you know? So I'm excited to see how everyone progresses. And I like watching all the heavyweights, you know? I really do. I want to see him. I like that one. He lost a couple of times recently, but I really liked his style for a while. The New York guy, the Polish guy.
Yeah. Oh damn! I'm having a brain fart.
But we got the same guy in mind. I like his style a lot too, man. So there's a lot of guys that I see, and I'm like, man, that's amazing to watch.
Yeah. It really, we really are in a heavyweight renaissance, man. And I don't know if. Well, I guess we got draws in the heavyweight division, so maybe the people do know. But like, they need to pay attention, man. And we have some great heavyweight fights, and regardless of the last 20 years, man, wherever the heavyweight division is, it really does, control where boxing is. You know, when the world knows who the heavyweight champion is, it's a great time in boxing. You know, when they don't, it's a problem. You know, and luckily, which you and just said earlier, the skill divisions, the lighter weight, and we know, it is a little more skilled than like a Tyson Fury. But the lower weight classes usually have to carry the burden, you know, when the heavyweight division is dragging ass, like under them Klitschko's we was talking about. And when I say dragging ass, yeah, we know they was great and skilled and stuff, but I'm talking about fan perspective. You know what I'm saying? I remember asking people, you know, who's the heavyweight champion? They were like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. Heavyweight champion's supposed to be the fan. You know what I'm saying? The fan who don't know shit about boxing knows who the heavyweight champion is. So the fact that they know again, and the fact that it's a couple of them, right? That, you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. So and think about it. They got bruisers, they got skilled fighters, they got giants, they got the regular human heavyweight. But this it's such a fucking skilled division. I'd imagine you excited and driven, bro, because you got to be, man. You gonna wind up in some fights, man. It's gonna be some serious business, man.
I know, and I'm excited to do so. It always makes it 10 times more. I love it so much more when I'm in a fight. You know, like if you kind of go out there and you just walk through someone, sometimes it feels like, oh, this camp's for nothing. You know, it's like, oh man, why did I even do any of this stuff? But when you get out there and like you meet a worthy opponent, it makes boxing worth it, because now it's like I get to show my skill. I really get to prove myself to somebody. You know, that's kind of what everybody's trying to do in boxing. Everyone's trying to prove themselves either to themselves or to someone else. But you got something to prove if you're in the ring, you know. And well, at least in my aspect. And so to be able to have someone and some worthy opponents out there, I'm really excited to make it happen.
When you go into camp, do you have an alter ego?
I wouldn't necessarily say I have an alter ego, but I would say there's a flip that gets switched when I get in that ring. You know, like I'm a relatively nice guy outside the ring, and I pretty much well mannered. But once I get inside that ring, my dad calls me his little bulldog. You know, and until he pulls back the chains, then like he lets me go. You know, when I go, you know, I like it's a lot of the guys at the training center that said they used to not like sparring with me because I only have one mode. I only have go, you know, and that's just kind of how I go by things.
Are you I'm sorry, Derek. I got a question.
Go ahead.
Are you like respectful to your opponents afterwards or before? Like, I feel like I'm super nice when I get in the ring, and I'm always like, okay, yeah, God bless you. So I don't know. I'm just curious if other people are like that.
Yeah, no. After the competition, I one of the sayings I really like to say is, "He who sheds his blood with me today is my brother." So I think that whoever gets in that ring and tries his hardest and tries to do exactly what I do, we have a mutual respect for each other. But before that fight and before getting into that ring, we're enemies. You know, it's business at the end of the day. But when we're in that ring, we're enemies, and I'm gonna do everything I can to come out victorious.
How are the like the face-offs, the weigh-ins? Are those like uncomfortable, or do you have like a strategy? Are you intimidating?
No, I mean at that point it's still respect to me. You know, I don't really flip that switch of I'm gonna hurt you until like the fight actually happens. You know, until we're in the fight. But as soon as I mean, I can just kind of take play it by ear. You know, if they're kind of start talking trash and things like that, I think I can kind of hold my own in that manner. But I'm not gonna be the one that initiates it. I'm not usually that guy. I'm the guy that will defend myself, speaking if need be. But if you want to keep it respectful, I'll keep it respectful.
So
That's cool.
you telling me that mustache and that hairstyle ain't an alter ego, bro? That's what you telling me, man?
I wouldn't say it's an alter ego, but I mean, people definitely notice it, you know, and I think people are starting to recognize that mustache, starting to become a trademark type thing, you know. I kind of like that a
Dude,
little bit.
Have you
dude,
haven't always had that?
No, I
no,
just got yeah,
no.
no, I got this after my second fight, I think, of the mustache. And so the story behind the mustache actually is I had not a trainer, but he helped out. He helped clean up the gym and he helped do all this stuff named Macho Mike. And he's a really cool dude, amazing guy. And he always had the mustache. And one time I grew up the mustache, he's like, Richard, I really like that mustache. And I said, oh, thank you. And because he had a really big mustache too. But recently after my first fight, he passed away
Oh,
from cancer.
no.
Yeah. So and so I kind of wore this mustache kind of in recognition to him because he liked the mustache and he had the mustache himself. So I said I have the Macho Mike mustache. And I get a little slack from it, but honestly, I kind of like it. I like the mustache a little bit. I think it fits me, and I'm gonna keep it going for a little while.
Do
Dude,
people compare you to someone? Say you look like someone?
um, people say
hold
I
on,
could,
bro. Hold on, bro.
yeah,
You got to. I know exactly, bro. I know who you look like to me, bro. So,
yeah.
so go ahead. I want to know what they say, man.
I get a lot of people that say I look like an '80s porn star. That's
Ah, that's exactly what it looks like. I said,
What?
man, look at Rich. Hey, he's standing up on the scale
uh,
like this with the fro and the mustache. I said, he look like he about
Oh,
to
you're a
smash something.
model.
Oh
Good.
man, that's exactly what he
And
look like, bro.
you're kind of like chiseled too on your stomach. It's like
trying,
it's almost like
trying.
like I saw you. You were like,
Yeah, got to show off a little bit, but
Say,
once in a
man,
while,
if you don't start coming out to that '80s porn, bow chicka bow bow, you're supposed to come out with that shit, man. I'm telling you, bro, that's the thing. But of course, don't never be iron or nothing. But man, that shit is awesome, bro. I'm like, this dude knows what he's doing. I know what he's doing. Macho Mike, though, that's a tremendous, in memory, man. That's a great thing. I'm glad to know what it is now, because I sure thought you was going for the '80s porn, bro. I really
no,
thought
yeah.
that's what you was doing.
I heard some people believe you look like Ben Askren, or
I've
you're
got
trying to
that
like
too a lot.
mimic him.
Yeah,
He's an MMA fighter.
yeah, no, I've seen him. He's the guy that fought Jake Paul a couple of times. I think Ben Askren is an amazing wrestler. But I'm not trying to mimic his boxing style too much. I commend him for his work ethic because I think he is an Olympian as well. But yeah, I'm not trying to be like Ben Askren. I remember
I think they just mean the looks, just the
yeah,
look.
I used to get the Jonas Brothers a lot too. Sometimes people say I look like a Jonas brother. Yeah, I get a lot of different people, so it's fun.
I'm trying to think of that. I'm not a degenerate, bro, but there was a famous uh 80s guy like that with that fro and that mustache, man, from the adult films. I can't remember his name though, man. But that's what I'm telling you, bro. When I seen it, I said that's what he's doing, man.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but
I
Can't think
can't
of
remember
his
his name.
name
Yeah, I don't know
either.
his name.
I've gotten the name a couple of times. Y'all talking about like Ron Jeremy or something like that.
That's it. That's it, bro. Ryan
Yeah.
Jeremy. You seen Boondock Saints? He was in that movie. That was a mainstream movie he was in.
Okay.
But
yeah, I just
Ryan Jeremy. That's it.
They throw it out at me. Yeah.
Ah, that's it. That's crazy, man. What you give me your top 3 heavies right now, bro. And I'm not talking about y'all prospects. I'm talking about like the guys up there.
I say Fury, definitely still. I say, I'm not gonna lie to you. I say Fury, Usyk, Wilder still. I think that right hand is still deadly. I think everyone commends Fury for taking that right hand, but I think we got to look back and say the reason why everyone's so amazed that they took the right hand is because no one else could take it. And so I say just based on sheer power, it's kind of like I had to put him still up there.
Dude, let me tell you something, man. There's been no bigger critic of Wilder, and it's due to the boxing. But then of course, with the excuses in the second fight and all that stuff. But I'm gonna tell you something, dude. I had to admit to myself against a lot of people, a lot of my homies' detriment. His what he did in that third fight, while getting whooped again. I mean, he consistently was getting whooped in them fights. The fact that he fought the death, and when he got knocked out, he was still trying to get up. Remember, he was getting up trying to fight again. I said, man, I've always knocked this kid's character because, like I said, with the excuses and stuff. But I made up my mind. I think he just believed that. That's what he believed. Because how do you get in there and fight so hard again against a guy who dominated you, man? He dominated you boxing. He dominated you fighting. He dominated you thoroughly. And that kid believes in them punch so much. And as he should, because other people believe in it too. But I was like, man, I got to damn near respect this dude, man. This is 100%. Crazy how he's taking these beatings and getting up and stuff. And then one thing we know is, and it's true, man, however he got that virus in his hands, bro, if he fucking hits you, man, you are out of there, man. Yeah. You are really out of there, and it's crazy because, none of that shit is fundamental. None of it. It shouldn't work. But it proves that old adage of you're born. Some guys are born with that heavy hands, man, and he just got it, bro. And if he gets you, aside from Fury, if he gets you, bro, few people get up, man. Few people get up.
I realized that against his fight against Ortiz. I'm an Ortiz fan, I was rooting for Ortiz even. I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw Ortiz and I just saw his style. He's a lefty. I looked at him and I was like, oh, that's a great fighter. And I was like,
and he could go, right?
Oh my gosh! And Wilder hit him like 2 times. I was like, this he's something different, It is like I think as a boxing fan, it's like at first you don't like Wilder because you're like, this guy's not even boxing at all. But then you kind of start to lean back the other way. Once you kind of see him, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy doesn't fight at all and he can still do all this stuff. His power is just insane, and it's just amazing to see.
Right. I totally agree, man. And everything in me wants me not to agree with that. But I got to, bro. I got to, man. It's really something to see. And it makes it must-see television, right? Because now I think they said that Helenius thing. Let me tell you how hard this guy hits. And yeah, Helenius was his sparring partner and all that good shit. But I could see from that fight, Helenius was mimicking Tyson. He had the big size, and he knew to go forward on him. And if I go forward, I got a chance. And he still got slapped with that shot, bro. And Deontay wasn't set or nothing. It was just an arm shot. Bing! And it was over with. That's crazy, smart, bro. Man. That is crazy how that dude can punch, man.
It is. And Helenius, he ain't no slouch either, man. Like I saw him fights, man. That dude he could throw. He was swinging.
No, he could fight, man. He could fight, and he knew how to fight Wilder. He was coming, and just still walked into a bing. I said, oh Lord, this
You know,
dude
that
here,
goes
man.
back to styles make fights. Like sometimes when people watch the fights, they're like, dang, y'all put him in here with a bum. And it's like, no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He absolutely
Yeah.
100%.
wasn't.
No, didn't Hellenius beat the one you was talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
That's how I found out about it.
y'all talking about Adam.
Yeah.
Kawanashi.
Kawanashi. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah, no,
it.
he was one of my favorite heavyweights too. Like, and so when I was watching him, because that dude he would not stop throwing. I was like, man, that's insane, you know?
Oh yeah. He was constantly
just all the time.
letting them hands go.
And
Constantly.
so then he fought Hellenius, and I was like, oh my goodness, like that guy, like I was like every time you see someone fight someone you like, you see another name pop up in the heavyweight division for yourself. You know, like, oh my gosh, there's this guy. Like the heavyweight division's out there, man.
Yeah.
They
absolutely.
they fought twice. And Adam, he lost by TKO twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That Hellenius could fight. He was underrated. That guy, but again, that's how good the heavyweight division is. And that's why it reminds me of the 90s, because in the 90s, yeah, you had Lennox and Evander and all these guys, but even the second tier heavies was bad. They could win on any given night. You know, your Mercers, your Morrisons, all those guys, they can win on any given night. And I thought we was having a real, we're in the middle of a great division, man. That's why I don't let nobody, oh man, the heaven, nah, bro, you ain't paying attention, man. And it's just because, and we're in America, we didn't have nobody outside of Wilder, so I'm sure that's why people wasn't paying attention. It's hard, it's hard to, when you don't have a dog in the fight, even, outside of boxing people. But
I think it's really hard to like his personality too. Wilder.
That it turned me off, man. It turned me off.
It just makes you not even like care about the skill because of his personality. They go hand in hand. Like you want somebody
100%.
that you can look forward to see fighting, and then someone that you can respect as a human. And
he clearly. What happens is when you don't. I know for me, I ain't gonna speak for nobody else. It's very important. Listen, everybody lost, and listen, Floyd lost too, man. He lost to Castillo. I watched the shit, but Floyd had to go back in the gym and say, I made a mistake. This dude ain't better than me. Let me fix what I did. And he did. He got in there and smoked him, right? Even though he don't got the loss. But what I'm saying, my point is this. It's important to take responsibility when you lose a fight or look bad in a fight, because otherwise you can't improve. So it's hard for a guy like a boxing insider like us three. It's hard for us to go, wait a minute, this kid just got whipped pillar to post. And rather than say, man, good fight, but I got your ass when I come back, making all the mistakes, that'll run people off. Now, I get his fans, well, they fans of him, so they're gonna ride with the excuses and shit. But as a guy who ain't for that shit, and in the fight game, you go, man, it's very imperative for this kid to understand why he lost, so that he could change it, right? And I just never did see that with him. What I did see in that last fight was just a gallant effort, man, guts galore. You know what I'm saying? And that was enough for me to change. I'm like, all right, goddamn it, you gave me a reason to root for you now. But until then, man, it's imperative for people to when you take a loss, man, you've got to understand why in order to change.
I think one of the big things too is everyone switches coaches nowadays. I kind of feel like you need to have the same coach, because if just because you don't like what one coach says and then you leave him for another coach, that just means that, oh, I was right, everyone else is wrong, I think that you kind of need to stick with the person that brought you to the dance, and in that same sense, stay with the guys that got you to where you are, because like if not, and you just start switching to everyone, whoever just says you're going to be good, all the coach is going to do is say you're great, it was the other guy, so they keep you around,
Yeah,
Rich,
nobody takes like accountability.
That's ego, Rich. You know that. That's all that is. And the thing about it is, and I might let the cat out the bag, but who gives a shit? I don't. When somebody's eating off of you, they got to stroke that ego too, because that ego is bruised right now, right? That ego is hurting. Everything you thought was the truth is a fucking lie. So people who's eating off you, They can't allow you to not keep going, right? Where the coach be the one saying, son, we fucked up. All right, we got to do this, this, and this. Well, that's just one guy. But your manager, your promoter, all the people making off the cut, right, is saying, oh, man, maybe we should go with Willie Lump Lump because, he's the hottest coach of the moment. Listen, every coach in the game, bro, we only, we make money. We make a 10% lick of what you making, right? And then when you get to the real money, it's just a flat rate. But here's the thing. A coach only makes if you win. So if you lose, we got to fix this shit and get back to winning. But those other guys, hey, man, they got to keep that ego like that. Hey, man, now you still the baddest motherfucker. What you think? The gloves was loaded? Yeah, them gloves was loaded. They look kind of funny to me, too. So let's go with Willie Lump Lumps for this trainer now. But it's all bullshit because in the end, that fighter's going to be by himself in the end. He's going to be there with his wife and his children or his parents or whatever. And the guy who was in the trenches with you, right? When there wasn't no reason to be there other than work and be successful and believe in you all that. Those reality checks are very important in this game. That's how can you imagine if Tommy Hearns would have left Manuel Stewart, bro, when he lost to Ray Leonard? Can you imagine what would have happened to that guy? Going with somebody who's gonna try to teach him how to be something else and shit. He wouldn't be the 6-time world champion, with all these titles and shit, had he did that shit. But 100%. He believed in his trainer believed in him. They went back to the gym and said, all right, where did we fuck up? Because it can't be what he did. Because if what he did and we just say he's just better than us, well, why fight anymore? No. We made a mistake. Let's fix what we're doing. And that's what I see, man. So you ever notice when these fighters start swapping? Now look, I'm not against adding somebody. If there's a deficiency, maybe your fitness regimen needs an upgrade. Maybe this, maybe that. Maybe you need to get a strength trainer where you didn't use one before or something like that. That's all part of let's build this team to win. But, when you ever notice when these boys start switching trainers, they never stop? Mm-hmm. Well, because it didn't get fixed. It didn't get fixed from the beginning. The problem wasn't fixed from the beginning, which was, where did I go wrong? Let me fix it. You blame the coach because you was getting, and I'm not saying that they ain't bullshit coaches because we know they are, and maybe you need to leave that motherfucker. But when you got a guy who been with you and grew you up, you take like your pops. Your pops got you from a 4-year-old amateur fighter to the silver medal in the fucking Olympics, bro. You know how hard that is to do, Jeff? Jeff, I know you know. That shit is it's way harder. I would say, me personally, it's way harder to win a medal in the Olympics than become a world champion to me. Because that what y'all doing, bro, traveling and all that shit, that and man, with the judges and amateur boxing, man, you know how hard it is to be an Olympic medalist.
And not only that, like you're forced to fight. You're forced to fight the best of the best. Right. And in the
there's no maneuvering.
Choose. So.
I can't tell Rich, this is a bad fight for us. We can't take this. Nah, bro, this is what we doing. We gotta do it. We gotta go. So, you know what I'm saying? If the guy took you to the dance, man, come on. Y'all keep fucking going. That's what you need to do. And add a missing piece. But come on, man. Right. Listen, perfect example of that. Wilder got pushed around, beat up, and because he didn't understand why, and he went and got a yes dude, they went and started bench pressing and shit. And that's what they thought was going to make the difference in the fist fight. You thought that big giant was pushing you around and stronger than you, and that's why you lost. Well, bro, that was so wrong or why you lost, but that's my opinion. And so now what you doing, man? That wasn't an upgrade. Look what happened in the next one. You got knocked out worse. This shit, I don't know his trainers or whatever, and I don't know, but I know he had probably the greatest amateur fighter in the history of amateur fighting in his corner, and he was winning with him, so, and he saved his life probably too, but, I don't know, man. If you got a missing piece, fine, but just getting up and blaming somebody, man, that's a character flaw, bro. How you gonna fix your deficiency like that? It's hard.
Yeah, and I think in the same manner though, it's like if everyone, like you said, if everyone around you tells you that so something else, you're gonna start believing on something else too. You know, you're a product of your environment. I feel like if everyone in Deontay's kind of corner was saying like, nah, man, we gotta fix this, and this, he kind of like, oh, okay, maybe we do have to fix this, and this. But if you have all of your just kind of fans saying, nah, it was fixed, this, that, it's gonna be a little different. But I mean, that's the exact reason why I've told my dad, and I'm 100% true about this, is if my dad's on my corner, I'm not fighting. You know, he's my guy. He's the guy that I'm gonna go to, that I'm taking with all the time. If my dad's not there, I'm not fighting. Because if my dad tells me to drop my hands and quack like a duck, I'm gonna do it. You know, because he's the guy that I trust completely. And I think every boxer is like yearning for someone that they trust completely, and it's really hard to find that if you switch coaches.
Yeah. Well, is it just a job now or what? You know what I'm saying? Or you just I like to call them and don't get me wrong, bro. Every trainer who gets some success, you know, towards the latter, it seems like towards the latter end of their run, they do become like a hitman. You know what I'm saying? Like get brought in to certain camps to help this guy out. And again, I'm not against that. Like if your pop said, "All right, Rich, let's bring in whoever and to the corner." And long as that guy knows the pecking order and everything's fine and it's working, great. Because who's gonna look out for you more than your real coach who wants to win? His thing is saying, maybe man, it was hard for me. It was hard for me as a trainer, man, to incorporate like these strength coaches and stuff. But when Quentin made the team, right? And he's coming back going, "Coach, check this shit out." You know what I'm saying? I learned this from the Olympic Training Center. I want to win, right? I want my kid to win. So I go, "What now? What you doing? This is what we doing in the day." Okay. If I'm seeing better performances, let's go. Let's run with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ego driven because I just want to protect my kid and win. That's what I want him to do. So if it's something added to it, great. You know what I'm saying? Great, because that's what I want. And I'm sure your dad feels the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, we got to win. That's at the bottom line. This is professional boxing. We got to win and make ourselves better.
And I think that's like the key value to a good coach. And sometimes you don't see that too much anymore. Is you said, I want to protect my kid and win. You know, that first thing is self-protection, you know, and that's why I kind of trust my dad so much. Because my dad, he's like, yeah, we want to win. But at the end of the day, I want you to just keep your brains about you, you know? And that's kind of why I trust my dad so much, because sometimes you see some of these other coaches and like, man, you go here, you do this, and I'm just going to throw you to the wolves, and you're a wolf too, so you can make it. You know, and it's like, yeah, it's like I trust myself enough to know I can make it. My dad said, no, I know you can do that, but I want you to do that smart and still come out and be able to think. And so that's why, like, every time you see a coach and you're just like, I want to win, like, yeah, but if you say I want to protect my kid and win, I feel that's the statement of a great coach right there.
Oh, bro, look, my mind is always. You could ask any of my fighters, man. I get mad if you get hit flush, let alone hurt. Fuck hurt. I don't want you to get hit flush, man. I stopped the fight one time. My kid had his eye closed on him, right, and he couldn't see. And he was getting caught after he put on a gallon effort and won some rounds of shit. But once that lamp shut on him and he couldn't see, and he was getting hit with he was fighting a southpaw, hard right hooks and shit, and just couldn't see him, right? Mm-hmm. And I stopped the fight. And so, and it, you know, my kid was a fighter, man. You know, it fucking hurt him to his heart, right? And I, you know, my answer was, son, I'm not gonna let this dude fucking hurt you because you can't see him. Fuck them, right? And he was, and you know, he was pissed off, angry, and all that shit. About 3:00 in the morning, we was in Coachella. About 3:00 in the morning, knock on the door. What's up, man? Sorry, coach, man. I thank you for what I did. I said, son, if it happens tomorrow, I'm gonna do the same fucking thing. You can get mad at me all you want. I'm not gonna give them the luxury of knocking. You know, every man only got a certain number of times he get hit, man. I'm not going to give them the luxury of knocking you the fuck out because what? Because you're brave? Nah, man. Listen, I'm not a brave coach, bro. I'm not a brave coach at all, bro. Brave coaches are the enemy, man. You know, you're not getting hit in the head, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? But I don't know. Maybe it's the culture I came up in boxing, but I'm always thinking like that, man. Nah, man, don't even hit my kid flush. Nah, fuck that. So you're right, and a lot of guys end up leaving guys who are doing that for them for a, like I said, a hitter. You know what I'm saying? Who came in and might can show you a few things, but it ain't the same.
Right.
And that's why this game is so hard to deal with, bro. It's not a organization, bro. It's me and you, right, against the world. So yeah, brother. I'm glad your pops is there too, cause ain't nobody finna protect you like him.
Mm-hmm. And it's
At
really
all.
some of the guys because they just didn't have that. You know, I'm blessed enough to say that I had a guy with me until day one, like since day one. It makes it so much harder for some of these guys that are searching for that guy that they can trust. You know, because I think at the end of the day, that's everything. That's what everyone's just searching for. They want someone they can trust and they know is the right guy to go to. And everyone wants to have that, but it's really hard if you didn't have it growing up. You didn't have that one guy growing up, and so you are looking for someone that you could trust. And it's just hard to see.
One of the biggest underappreciated things is not having the ability to know who to trust, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot, especially when there's money involved, man. You take a kid.
100%.
This is a poor man's sport, bro. And a kid ain't never had a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. And some guy comes and says, I got you, man, and he gives him a car and a fucking gold chain and shit, and the kid thinks he loves him. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, that's a pimp. That's what that is. That's a pimp. You got to know what that is, man.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of kids, I mean, let's be honest. I had a father growing up. You got a father growing up, but in our game, very few people have a father. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't understand a man, taking care of him and loving him and doing what's in the best interest of him. A lot of kids don't understand that, man. And it's terrible to watch, but you can't be there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, but that's, you can see it. You can see it from a mile away when these kids are getting taken advantage of, man. It's terrible.
And in the contracts, they have like in perpetuity. We can use your likeness whenever we want. And some of that stuff is like, oh, all right, I get money for that, and I'll just sign. But then, you don't know that they keep you forever. That's like ever, man. And they can use your name whenever they want to. You can't use your name in some certain situations. Like for everyone that wants to turn pro, like really get your contract looked at before you sign it. Because if not, you're gonna be in a world of hurt.
1,000%, man. 1,000%.
So does your dad advise you pretty much on everything?
My dad is my manager and my trainer. But I with that being said, we do seek counsel. I have a couple. I have like advisors. I have dietitians. I have strength and conditioning coaches. I have a lot of other things that my dad may not be too inept with, and he knows. And he's like, we'll get someone that knows what they're doing in order to do so. So my dad's kind of like the ringleader, but we have a bunch of working pieces. One thing I found out is like, if you want to either be a coach or a fighter and be able to sustain the actual like business, because that's what it is now. We're your own company. You have so many people working for you now. Like there's like nutritionist, the strength and conditioning coach, the advisor, the manager, the coach, and the media people, anything you want to do. And it's a company, man. And that's something I really had to get my mind wrapped around from going to amateurs, because in amateurs I was just a fighter. That's all I had to do. I just had to go box. That's it. And then afterwards you're good. Now it's like I'm a business owner, and I gotta treat myself like that too, on top of being a fighter.
And what makes it tough? You're one loss away from everybody walking away if they don't care about you. If they don't care about you, you're one loss away, and that's a wrap. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? Because that next one, lose. Watch what the next one is, because that next one is gonna be way tougher than the guy you just lost to. You know what I'm saying? So that's yeah, man. It's a crazy game, bro. That's why you need those people around that's on the same warpath.
And you always get those guys like my friends. Hey, Richard, isn't there a lot of pressure because if you lose one time, everything can change up? Isn't a lot of pressure? Say, yeah, man, stop talking about it. Like
it's fucking gang of pressure, bro. A gang of pressure, bro. This 4 years old, bro. I've been doing this shit, man. Hell yeah, that's pressure, man.
So you guys say that whole thing like, oh man, pressure makes diamonds, yada yada yada, and you kind of play it off. But man, there's pressure in boxing, like there really is. And sometimes you're alone by yourself and you sit down and you think, dang, I could have played tennis. You know, like it's like it's like there's so much.
That's as real. Hey, that's as real as it comes, bro. Right there. That's as real
And
as it comes, man.
now we're in an era where it's like, oh, you have to be undefeated. You have to be undefeated. There's so much riding on being undefeated.
It's the truth, and I mean, I think it just adds to that list, you know. And that's why people are a lot of guys are kind of afraid to fight some guys, because there's that added. I mean, if you lose it, everything could be different.
The risk versus reward.
But I think what the amateurs kind of taught me as well is, like, I fight who I'm gonna fight. You know, like I'm okay with that. You know, regardless of it, because there's risk in the amateurs too. You know, if you lose, you don't get to be nationals. You take away everything. I was captain of the team. If I lost at nationals, it was over. You know, like my pay was gone, everything was gone. What I was trying to work for, and so it was kind of a lot of pressure on those ones too. But it's like, at the end of the day, you gotta trust in your ability. You know, I'm Richard Torrez. I know I can fight, and the amateurs taught me that, and that kind of brings me into the pros. Like, if they put a guy in front of me, I'm gonna get him. You know. And I'm thankful for USA Boxing for giving me that confidence.
100%.
Go get him, Tiger. No. So, is there anything that you do outside of boxing?
Yeah, so I take college classes right now. I'm currently enrolled. I'm taking a ballet class, a swimming class, and an argumentation and debate class. I think the ballet and swimming are kind of for conditioning and footwork. And argumentation and debate is just kind of my communication skills. I really like being able to find out how to go about an argument in a logical way. And then on top of that, now I'm taking private pilot lessons to work on my private pilot degree. And I kind of want to work towards, like, my end goal is to get a degree or a certificate at least, and that's going to be in aviation mechanics. I think that's going to be kind of what I want to do. I think it's a cool thing to do. I get to work with my hands, and that's something that's kind of going to be a pastime for me. So boxing my number one, but I like learning. You know, if I'm at home and I'm just sitting on the couch, I get stir crazy and I have to do something. You know, all my parents are teachers, my sisters are teachers now, and my favorite quote of all time is, "Live as if you were to die today, learn as if you were to live forever." And Gandhi said that, and it's something I live by. And so I'm always going to try to take classes and learn something new.
And I think it's good too that you're able to, because sometimes when people are boxers, they're just boxers and they have nothing to fall back on. Those eggs are just in one basket, and life in boxing doesn't last that long. So, and
yeah, well, I mean, I'm sorry, yeah, but I mean, I will say boxing is plan A, B, and C. You know, like that's who I am right now, and that's what I want to be, and that's all I'm gonna be right now. But I like doing things, you know, and this is kind of like hobbies of mine now, and I'm really thankful to be able to say that I could afford to go to college as a hobby right now, you know, like that's incredible to me. Like I put enough money aside to where it's like if that rainy day money, but it's like so right now it's like I'm just having fun. I'm living in that moment too, you know. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Idle time ain't good, bro. Yeah, that's good. You're doing something constructive when you ain't in the training. Yeah, that's a great habit right there, man.
So are you taking any academic classes, or are they all just like physical classes?
So I was taking, like, my last semester I took 2 philosophy classes. So I'm taking, like, I wouldn't say like my general ed classes, like I'll leave those for a little bit later, but I am taking just classes I'm interested in. And at my local community college, COS, there's a lot of really interesting classes. You know, there's a couple media classes I want to take, just kind of better my just media. And there's I took a business class in my last semester too, and that really helped me a lot on just trying to create budgets and being able to, like, make a spreadsheet, learn about, like, cash flow, making sure that I have more money coming in than going out. And it's like things that you should know. Like, do you feel like you should just kind of have a wherewithal of, but to actually understand how it's supposed to work, like the assets compared to leverage, and just simple things like that, it makes a difference, you know. And it makes me feel like, I actually have a better grasp of financial literacy. And on top of that, I like reading books. Like, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Never Split the Difference, a couple of different books that kind of helped me with negotiation tactics and skills, and I think that did help me a lot too.
I think you're doing it the right way. So a lot of us, we start and we do like our general courses, and then it's like, okay, well, what else are we gonna do? And so I think that you're doing things that help you now in the moment as a business owner, and like all of that is gonna help you moving forward to present yourself as a person, as a business, and it's gonna help in boxing.
No,
Period.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I do want to start taking a couple more, maybe like a English class or so, just because I I want to get better at writing and just kind of putting my words down on paper. So then that way, like if I ever need to say something or have a speech or something like that, I'll work towards that. But there's a lot of just ideas I have, and it's amazing that if I have an idea that I want to take a class, I can just go out and take it now.
Do you
Rich,
have support in as far as like are people telling you, hey, you're doing too much, you need to just focus on boxing, or is it everybody's kind of supportive of what you're doing?
Oh man, everyone talks. Everybody talks. I have the haters and that say I should just be boxing, focusing on that. I have people that say, "Oh, I'm doing too little. Maybe you should." Oh, I have those guys that are like, "Oh, this boxing thing's fun and all, but make sure you're taking your education classes when this little play thing's done." You know, like people still don't understand like what's going on. You know, it's kind of hard for
Mhm.
that too. It's like I have people that are saying, "Richard, you're gonna be the best boxer ever. Don't even worry about school because this is your life. You're gonna do all this stuff." And half the guys are like, "Oh, that's a cute game, but like once you finish with that, come back here, you know." And so that's why I'm stuck with my dad.
Ah,
I had to call, but that's why I look at my dad,
okay.
and whatever my dad says, I go with. If my dad says, "Hey, Rich, make sure you're doing this, and
You I see. I put in the disclaimer that I sent to put your phone on do not disturb.
right, right. I be
I'm
forgetting to tell people that now. I
yeah,
be
I'm
Oh,
sorry, man. Yeah,
it's
is
okay if you can
that,
just put on do not disturb.
all right, let me see real quick. I don't know how to do that.
I think it's at the top. You just pull down your bar, and then you should see.
Is it do
do
not
not
disturb?
disturb. Yeah, do not disturb would stop them from calling. Normally, might need to do it back out and come back in.
I can't find it, but yeah.
what's the what's the for for a lot of fighters, amateur fighters coming up to help them out? What would you say was the biggest learning curve, or one of the biggest learning curves that you now as a professional figured out the extreme difference between being an amateur fighter and a prize fighter to kind of open to help them open their eyes up, man.
So
What have you noticed?
the biggest thing was outside the ring, learning about actually being a business, you know, and like making sure you're the one that has all your ducks in a row, you know, because when you were with USA Boxing, at least for the elite amateurs, you know, you had everyone with you. You had a manager, you had an agent, everybody was on that team, and you were just kind of able to be a part of that team for a while. But afterwards, now that you're on your own, you have to really make sure you have everything covered because everyone's looking at you to see what you're gonna do. You're not looking at a manager. You're not looking at your coach to tell them what to do. Everyone's kind of looking at you to say what's next. And so you have to be okay with making those big decisions and those hard and telling them like this is what I want, this is what I need. Let's go about it this way. You know, and that's something I'm still working on is making sure that I understand that this is my business and everyone else is kind of helping this out, you know, because I'll kind of look at, hey, Pop, what should we do? And my dad will be like, you tell me, you know, like you're the guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, ah, man. So that's a difficult one. And inside the ring, I would say the slept on thing that no one talks about is the gloves. The gloves are different, man. The pro gloves, the amateur gloves are different. You know, you get hit with the pro
Mm-hmm.
glove, you're like, oh, you're like, oh, that would hurt. You don't
Y'all
understand the
fighting what,
difference.
10 ounces?
You find in tens, but I fought in tens in the youth, and like I fought in 12s as the elites. But there's something different with just the way they're made. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
you put on that pro glove and you hit the bag and you hear that pop, you're like, oh, that's dangerous. You know, you're just like, there's something different about these gloves, man. And so that's a big thing for the amateurs, the pros. The biggest difference inside the ring, I think that's the only difference, honestly, besides the shirt. But the gloves are different.
Yeah, at the
Speaking of
professional
shirts,
level,
hold on, huh?
at the professional level, the gloves are really to give your hands a little protection while you punching this dude. It ain't no safety for the other guy. It's not oversized or nothing. It's just to protect your hands, man. So
Yeah.
you can keep punching him.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Speaking of shirts, I noticed like when you train, your shirts are like cut off, kind of
The
like
crop top.
yeah.
Yeah. You gotta love the crop top. Yeah, it was I was at the training center actually. I was at the Olympic Training Center, and they had this we were in the back room because the USA Boxing Gym was getting renovated, and so we were in this back room in the opposite side of the training center, and man, it was hot. It was so hot. And then I got back to Tulare, it was 110 degrees out there. I was like, I'm cutting off my shirt, because my dad has a rule that says he doesn't want us to box shirtless because he says like the sweat goes everywhere in the gym. At least he said if you're boxing, box with the shirt on right now. He goes, you guys save the shirtless thing for the fight. And so I'm in there and I'm like, it's too hot for a shirt. And so I cut mine in half and I just rocked with it. I was like, all right, this is the thing. And everyone looks at me like, Richard, what are you doing? Are you really gonna wear a crop top? And I just said, awesome new style. But after I say that, then I kind of have to be a man of my word about it, and I'll come back the next day and I'll be like, yeah, see, look, I told you it's new style, So that's how it kind of started.
Well, you see, like this is why girls wear crop tops. It's very comfortable.
Oh
You
my
get to
gosh.
breathe and you don't got to show everything.
I was amazed by it. Yeah. It's the funniest thing is when I walk into my gym, I'm sponsored by Lifestyle Fitness, and so I walk in there and my kind of pictures on the wall, stuff like that. But I walk in there sometimes with the crop tops and those hoochie daddy shorts, and everyone looks at me with the mustache and the mullet. They're like, "Where's this guy coming from, man?" And they're like, "What is going on?" And so it's the funniest thing though. And because like some people want to talk to me, they want to talk trash or something like that. But then I'm kind of built now, and the diet's been working, so I look kind of shredded, especially right before a fight. And they're like, they just kind of look and they're like, I don't know what we should do about this. And it's nice to watch.
And you definitely have to have like extreme confidence and security within self to not allow like what other people are saying. Because I'm very unique too. Like people are always like, why you got on those furry shoes? I'm just like, this is what I like. Like I don't like what you gonna do about it.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that a lot of boxers have, though. Is like boxers have one thing we have is confidence. It's because if we want to get in that ring and do something, like you got to be confident in yourself, knowing that you can make that happen. But yeah, I think I'm able to have that translate inside and outside the ring, and I'm thankful for it. But it's a fine line from confidence to cockiness, and so my dad's always there to hit me down a few notches if he thinks I'm getting cocky.
What are some things that he thought you were being cocky about?
I mean, I think you can just kind of see it in the way I walk sometimes. Sometimes I walk like my stuff doesn't stink, and I get out there and my dad's like, hey, and the way my dad kind of fixes it for me is he makes me go work out more, and it'll make me do something crazy. Like I remember when I was a kid, I kind of my dad took me out to the boxing club, and it's kind of in the field, and we had a trailer that we were dumping dirt out because we wanted to make a soccer field, and on the trailer one of the tires was they had was stripped, so you couldn't take off the lug nut. And my dad gave me a chisel and a hammer, and he left me there for 2 hours. And, and he didn't let me go until I got that tire off, And so I think like just kind of putting myself into like almost like farm work scenarios, it kind of grounds me, And so he'll have me go out there and he'll dig holes, or have me go out there and break up cement. And so I think that kind of really strips my ego because it grounds me and brings me back to where I'm at.
That's exactly what I was hearing. He's keeping you grounded, man. Check yourself, man, because it's your responsibility. Check yourself, man. Nice, man. Yeah, your pops got it together, man.
Yeah.
You'll be at a deficiency without him, man.
100%.
What are some of the roles that your other family members play in your career?
So my mom cooks my meals. She's the one that so we get the meal plan from my nutritionist, and my mom's the one that cooks them. And so she does amazing with that. My mom is she does body fitness competitions. So she's really into her. She's really good at manipulating the calories and the different things that you could do with food. And so it's amazing. And then my sister is she's my stylist. Every time you see me like looking good at all, it's because she made my clothes. The only thing I know how to do that matches is wear USA Boxing stuff, because they give me that stuff and everything's red, white, or blue, so that kind of goes together. But anything else, if you see me out and I'm looking like sharp at all, it's because of my sister.
Oh, that's
real family affair.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then my dog, sometimes he comes over here, but he's my running partner. So
that's pretty cool. So we are gonna wrap up in a little bit, but I want to play a game. I always play a game. It's called This or That. It doesn't have anything to do with boxing. It's just kind of like let people know what kind of human you are. So you down for a game?
let's do it.
Okay, Derek, you can play too.
Oh shit.
Shoes or slippers?
Shoes.
I think you're a slipper person.
You really no. I like, but the thing is, like, I always end up working out in whatever I'm wearing. Like it just always ends up happening. It's like we'll do something. Like I just went to school to talk to school with my mom, and my mom's like, "Oh, just come hang out for a little bit, talk to the kids." And I was gonna wear slippers, but I was like, "Nah, let me put on some sneakers." And I went out and played with some sneakers, and the kid asked if I want to play basketball. Like, let's play some basketball then. I always end up doing something active because that's just kind of who I am. And so I need some shoes, or at least the Crocs with the sport mode on it.
Yeah, sports mode. Pork or beef?
Beef. Yeah, that was just kind of a given, but
I know I don't like meat. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't like meat at all?
I don't eat meat.
I mean, I'll eat pork on a certain day, but like, I mean, you can't mess with like carne asada and stuff like that. Those are the OGs.
Fruits or vegetables?
Fruits. Yeah.
I'm a vegetable person.
Really?
Yeah, fruits. I don't know. I don't like too much sugar. I don't like sweet stuff. It's weird.
I love sugar. Yeah.
Derek, you're not playing.
Oh, I like wearing flippers if I ain't working or at the gym. I don't eat pig for religious reasons, and I rather fruit. Yeah. All right, my bad.
Swimming pool or beach?
Swimming pool or what?
Or beach?
Beach. Yeah, I'm gonna go beach, just for the fact that like you're still gonna get dirty, so you might as well get dirty in a cool spot.
That's cool. I'm a beach too.
I'm gonna go beach too. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Cats or dogs?
Dogs. Here, let me show you. Here, I'm a dog guy.
Whoa, is that a big dog? That's a doggy.
He's a golden retriever right here. He's my guy.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a dog dude too, bro. I don't fool with no cats, man.
Yeah.
I'm not an animal person. I just like your face. It's not, I don't dislike animals. I think it's like an attachment thing. I don't want to be attached to anything.
I think you just don't like fun. You don't like sugar. You don't like animals. I think you just don't like fun.
I'm very square. Salt or pepper?
Oh, I gotta go with salt just for the fact that like it goes on more things.
Yeah.
You can put salt. Yeah, salt's an enhancer. You know what I mean? So you can put salt in anything and it'll just enhance the flavor a little bit. But too much salt makes a mess.
That's true.
I find stuff salty enough. So I always need pepper or hot sauce or something. But yeah. I don't like a bunch of sauce.
On everything. Text or call?
Call, 100%. I'm horrible. I have like 100 unread text messages right now. I'm a call guy.
Look, there's
I fell for the text shit, bro. I done fell head first for the text shit, man. I just text mostly. Yeah.
Can't do that. If you call me, I'll answer. But if you text me, it might be 3 to 5 business days.
Good habit.
I'm 50-50. Like when everything I do online, so I don't want to call anybody. I want to call customer service. I don't want to talk to anybody. I literally just want to submit a chat or submit an email and go about my life. But it really just depends.
Yeah, no, I'd rather sit for 30 minutes on hold than to go to a customer service line. Yeah.
Waffles or pancakes?
Are we talking about like the best waffle versus the best pancake, or are we talking about like the average waffle versus the average pancake? Because I think that makes a difference.
Okay, let's do best and then average.
I would say the best pancake is better than the best waffle, but the average waffle is better than the average pancake.
Okay.
That was
What's
heavy,
the best
bro.
waffle,
That was
though?
heavy right there,
You know
man.
what I mean?
I
You know what I
know.
mean? Like, if you have the best pancake in the world, I'm gonna take the best pancake over the best waffle. But if you have a normal waffle or a normal pancake, I'm gonna choose the waffle.
Who has good pancakes, like at a restaurant?
Black Bear Diner. You ever been
Okay,
to
I
Black
don't
Bear
know what that
Diner?
is.
Oh, it's West Coast more often, but there's a couple of pancake spots in Cali where I'm like, no, I'd take a pancake over a waffle here.
Dang, who has good waffles?
Waffle House.
What?
I don't know. I was the first one
No
I
way
came to.
you just said Waffle House.
Hey man, to each his own.
If I'm making it, that little cheap ass waffles in a toaster. But if I get somebody else to make it, I want some pancakes. There you go. That's how I'm gonna do it.
Okay, I got a few more. Lunch or dinner?
Dinner. Because dinner, I like having a baked potato, or a baked sweet potato with like salmon and oh wait, but lunch is like shrimp burritos and stuff. Ooh, I'm gonna go dinner still, just because I feel like dinner has some more substance, and you can take something out to dinner. It's a little bit better to take something out to dinner than it is to lunch.
Wow, these are really thoughtful answers.
That's serious business, man. Lunch or dinner, that's serious business, man.
Yeah.
I'm going dinner, man. My wife could cook, bro. When it's dinner, bro, hell yeah.
I fight at 105 pounds, but I don't skip a meal. So I like lunch, dinner, breakfast, 3 snacks in between. I just like to eat. Let's see. Trying to get some good ones. Mop or vacuum?
Vacuum. I go vacuum on that one because I think a vacuum's a lot easier to use than mops. Because mops you got to scrub sometimes. Vacuum you just wave over.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm a vacuum person too. I have a mop. I don't think I've ever used it. My poor floor. Nuggets or fries?
Nuggets. I go with those. If I could get nuggets as opposed to fries on every side meal, I'd probably do that, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know. I like the protein.
Wow. I eat vegan nuggets, so they're pretty good.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, when I go to fast food, I get nuggets too, and half the time leave the fries. Yeah, I might eat a few of them, but yeah, I eat the nuggets too. Shit.
Yeah.
I love fries. That's good.
I like fries, but yeah, I add the nuggets though.
What about fries or onion rings?
Oh, fries.
Right.
Yeah, fries.
Right, because who eats an onion ring?
Yeah, I don't know. And my mom's into onion rings. So we never really share our sides.
Onion rings are like, I don't know. I don't know who came up with that.
It's better than coleslaw, but not by very much.
Only way I eat coleslaw is if it's fried.
The only way
fried coleslaw?
Yeah. Like
Jamaican
base.
Like the Jamaican side, the fried cabbage and shit. That's good. That's good right there. Yeah, with the coleslaw.
Did you introduce to something new? I think you should try it.
I got you now, yeah.
Yeah, the best way to eat coleslaw is throw it in the fucking trash, man. I don't understand. I don't understand that.
Nike or Adidas? Oh, you can't. I'm like, either one.
I mean, I like them both, if I'm being honest with you, but I couldn't tell you on that one, if I'm being honest with you. I think that's just because I might want to sponsor down the line, so I don't want to
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. I abandoned Nike like years ago, probably about 10 years ago. And I'm just been Adidas ever since. Because at one point I was looking for like a big sponsorship with Adidas. So we did like we did a few ads and things, and then I just kind of kept with it.
So I just got this dog out real quick. He's been begging to go for like 3 hours. Okay, cool. Thank you.
I'm a New Orleans boy, bro. We wear Reebok and Adidas. I don't fuck with Nikes at all. None of them.
Yeah.
And I think the greatest sneaker is probably the Adidas Forms, bro. I still wear them since I'm a kid, man. Them the best shoes they got. But yeah, Nike. I ain't looking for no sponsorship. Y'all can keep that shit. Nah.
Okay, well that's all I have for this and that. You guys.
Rich, I appreciate you, brother. Man, I enjoyed this, man.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on. I did too. You know, I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man, and good luck in the future. And hopefully we get you back on here after this next win. When they gonna try to put you on something next year, or?
I think so. I think they're trying to say like around February sometime. So
okay,
give me a little bit because I've been going back to back for a while now. So they might give me a little time to rest and recover.
Oh, so what's a typical like off season? We don't really get those, but.
Yeah, no. So my dad, like, I get about 3 days off. My dad gets me back in the ring. Well, like, and the only reason I had 3 days off this time was because like my flight I missed my flight, so I had to stay in New York for an extra day. But I get about the weekend off, and my dad starts to tell me to just get back in the gym. But with only like 1 or 2 workouts a day, not 3. And then once camp kind of starts to begin, then I go 3, and then we start picking up harder.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, you're still gonna be training. You're still gonna be taking your classes, and then I'm sure you're gonna be. So you're not gonna be on your strict diet, but
no, that's actually staying strict.
Oh, okay.
My diet's staying strict too because that's kind of like the whole off-season thing is the diet, and that's kind of what keeps me going. So I have started, but with that they don't call them cheat meals because they want me to stick kind of close to them, but they're called relax meals. And so I get about 4 relax meals a week. And so I get to kind of pick and choose if I want like an extra serving or if I want to do something different. Like tonight I'm going to go out to dinner. I'm going to get a really good steak. So that's going to be good. So a steak, probably a sweet potato and some vegetables. And I'm going to love it.
Oh, cool. So do you make a list of like, okay, I want to try this for my relaxed meal, and you just kind of go down the list, or it just comes day by day?
It kind of comes day by day, and then sometimes it's like when my friends want to go out, and I haven't had my dinner yet. I'll call my mom like, hey mom, like I'm gonna do one of my relaxed meals today instead of dinner, and she's like, oh okay, cool, we'll do that. But it kind of just comes with it. But on Saturdays is usually I want to go out and get a steak though. And that's my day, you know. That's my cheat.
Yeah, I can't relate to that, but it sounds nice.
Sorry. You can get tofu nuggets. So.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us. I know it's still early over there, but it was a good conversation, and people got to know you more as a human.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It's always nice doing that. Oh, and please, follow me on Instagram. It's the Richard Torrez, THEE Richard Torrez. If you guys want to see more of what I do, I just posted a dance video from my ballet class. I just seen that. Yeah, I'm active on there. So if anybody wants to follow the journey, I'm more than willing to. And thank you guys for having me on again.
And magic tricks. I saw magic tricks.
Yeah, I got the magic. I got everything.
I just followed him yesterday. I was like, how come I wasn't following him? That's so weird.
Yeah, no, well, I'm glad we are now. So that's all that matters.
Absolutely, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.